Okay. I want to be sensitive to our time for those of you obedient, probably firstborn children who got on early, and I even have your cameras turned on. I mean, listen, you make my day when I can see your face. By the way, if you're at a place where you're like, Becky, I don't want to show my face right now because I don't know, I'm driving or I just hopped out of the shower, that's okay. But if you are sitting down and you've got your notepad out and you're ready to get some work done this morning, great. Go ahead and turn your camera on because it's always helpful to us. We're going to do some live coaching today, and it's helpful when we can see your face. So, if possible, turn your cameras on. And you don't have to be cute, guys. Neither Andrea, I hope Andrea doesn't mind me saying this, but neither one of us have showered or done a dang thing physically to prepare for this call. So it is come as you are, come wherever you are, just come to the call, come to Monday Masterclass. Okay, I'm Becky Page. Typically, what we're doing in this hour is we are typically having guest speakers come on and train. But as y'all know, like our top portion of our company was on the Emerald Extravaganza and Diamond Destination trip last week. Andrea and I did not go. We both earned it. We just had other stuff going on in our families. We didn't go. It's heartbreaking because I love Maui so much, but it was good that I was here. And I think Andrea feels the same way with what all was going on in her family and her world. So we've got people who we're going to have come and train, but just today was just not one of those days. And we wanted to get some face-to-face time with you guys and to do some live coaching. And I want you to know that next Monday will be a power hour. So it's going to be end of the month. We're going to help you push for every point that you can get. We're going to help you push for every double credit you can squeeze out of September. If you have not been doing this very long, I want to tell you, welcome to Magic Week. Okay. Magic Week is what we refer to as the last week of the month. You probably have a team member who has been, MIA for whatever reason. She's got a kid in sports. She might be a teacher. She might have a full-time job. She's going to come alive this week. You want to know why? Because it's Magic Week. It's the last week of the month. And there's something that makes people that told you, October 30, or sorry, that told you August 31st, I'm going to order. They have not thought about it since then, but they're going to start thinking about it the last week of the month. So I don't know what it is. If you've been with Plexus, you can let us know in the chat. Do you find that to be true, that people come out of the woodwork at the end of the month? It's just always how it is. So we want to equip you for that. And that's why next Monday, we're going to host a power hour here. So don't miss it. But today, first things first, Andrea and I wanted to remind you of everything that's going on. And here's the great thing. It's not new. It's not going away. We just want to help get you aware of what's happening. So in case you just don't know, we run a team page called The Table. I bet you're on it, or I bet your upline's on it. If you're not, it's really easy to join. And that's kind of where we manage all the things. But if you've been around for a while, it might feel lately like you are drinking from a fire hose, and you might be like, oh my gosh, there was like 5 posts on the table and I missed it. And oh no, what am I missing? And I just want to tell you, hey, slow your roll. You're not missing. You know what you should probably do? You should probably just check it in the mornings. In the same way that if you got to work and there were some people talking about something, in one of the shared office rooms, you would probably walk by and be like, hey, what's going on? What are y'all talking about? And then you'd kind of hear the scuttlebutt, and then you'd go back to your desk and you'd get back to work. That's The Table. Jump on it in the mornings. Just be like, hey, let me review. Let me put in my calendar. Let me make sure I'm aware of this. Oh, they said next Monday is a power hour. Oh, I need to invite so-and-so to that because she is trying to learn how to work her business shrewdly. So you just check in with The Table. The Table is where we manage all of our business. Teacher's Lounge. I love that, Andrea. It's true. It's the total Teacher's Lounge. Okay. Gut Glam is the name of our customer team page. Now, we are a large team, so you might even have like another customer page that you visit more frequently. Maybe you're an admin and you update it. That's great. Perfect. Just want you to know that Gut Glam is where we are currently running, and multiple other teams are running this challenge called the September I think it actually has a longer name, but I refuse to call it the Sip, Shake, September, whatever. It's just about it's about eating protein and getting 10,000 steps a day, which ladies, is Dave on here? I don't see him. Okay. Ladies, that's a lot for us. Like getting more protein, that's half the battle. Getting 10,000 steps, moving your body. I know I see Ashley. Ashley's my level one. She's kicking tail. I see you posting about it a lot. Like it's a lot to get in those 10,000 steps, but it's awesome. So if you need encouragement, but here's the thing, it's not just for you. If you have a customer who has said, I know I need to move. You're like, hey, girl, listen, it's not too late. I'm going to put you in this customer page. It's called Gut Glam. And then I'm going to tag you. Today is day 8. You can literally go back and review day 1. You can start anytime. Like this is basically our September and ongoing focus. I'm trying to eat more protein. I'm trying to move my body to get 10,000 steps a day. So that's happening at Gut Glam. Okay. If you're keeping up, I've only covered 2 things. Next comes something called Rally Chat, which some of y'all have been using for like a year. And some of you guys have been using for maybe a month. Now, I'm going to address Overwhelm in a few minutes, because if you're new to Rally Chat, it is a Facebook Messenger chat. It's not communicative. It's posted once a day. People aren't chatting back and forth. You're not going to be getting notifications. It's simply a place to go, and it shares, I think it's 4 different things. Andrea, help me. It's like what to post, something to share, and you could share it either on social media or you could share it with a VIP customer or a team member, something to say to someone, and something to learn. And in that something to learn, it's going to correlate with what we're posting on the table every day, which is this program called Bahamas Bound. It's just a challenge. It's a short, like 2 to 3 minute video that you can watch. It's to help you learn some basics. This is short stuff, but you're going to check Rally Chat every day. All right. Then every Thursday night, we are running in Facebook Messenger. This is a separate chat, customer events. And that is like a 30-minute customer event. Now, if you didn't get a new customer this week, you're not really worried about that, except maybe you got a customer 2 weeks ago, you invited them to get in one of these chats and they didn't have time, or they had their son's football game. You're going to be like, hey, can I add you to this week's? You're just going to keep that running. God bless Tina Marie, because she's updating these every week. This is simply an info chat for them to join and follow along and learn, oh, here's how these products work. And then there'll be a short little thing about the business, how as a VIP customer, they can use their referral links. It's happening every week. Okay. It's on Thursday nights. What else is on Thursday nights? I'm glad you asked. Real people, real stories. It's a 10 to 15 minute Zoom call that your customers can join and can just hear health testimonials. Okay. You can find the information weekly, hopefully, on Real People, Real Stories in the table. So check there, just do a search, Real People, Real Stories, it'll pull it up. Hopefully we've kept up with that. And then every Sunday night, guys, is a call where your VIP, or even like, guys, even your relapsed team member who like needs a shot in the arm, she could listen in. It's again, 10 to 15 minute Zoom call where people are sharing their Plexus business testimonials. By the way, if you need a shot in an arm, listen to that call. Just listen in. Like sometimes I don't invite someone that week, or someone I invited can't join, but I hop on because it's just sometimes good for me. If I've got the time and I can remember, I believe it's 8:30 Central every Sunday night. Okay. Whew. I just covered 6 things we're doing. And now I want to talk to you about overwhelm. Okay. I heard not from 1, not from 2, not from 3. I heard from multiple people last week. I'm a little overwhelmed. And so I talked to Andrea and I was like, let's address this for sure. I want you to know, though we all have different personalities, we all have different things going on in our families. We're all in different life stages. Your overwhelm probably looks different from somebody else's overwhelm on this call, but there's several reasons why people get into overwhelm. And it usually has to do quite often with like unmet expectations and self-imposed ideas on what you think your business should look like. So I'll tell you, the overwhelm for me, and this is funny, I literally did not make this connection until I was leaving Andrea a Marco Polo about this call today. We were chatting back and forth. I was like, well, I'm not really overwhelmed. But I woke up this morning and told Russ, I was like, I had a stress dream about Plexus. And I know that it's because it is what, September 23rd? And I haven't recruited enough people for that. I set a goal for myself and I'm not close to hitting it. And I'm feeling this like, so my overwhelm is coming from an expectation that I had about how many people I would have recruited. And the fact that I haven't gotten there yet has me feeling like I'm falling behind. Okay. And I just want to tell you, hey, friend, you're not falling behind. You are okay. You really are okay. And that's where I really want to encourage you. Take a moment. If you are a person of faith, I want you to pray for your business, but pray that God would just remind you of someone that needs your help, whether through the products or someone that's reached out to you about income and you could encourage them. Someone that just needs like a reminder and a love touch from you today to say like, hey, I'm for you. Okay. But be careful with, like recognize when you've got overwhelm, where is it coming from? So for me, it was coming from this idea of like, oh my gosh, I've got to take all advantage of the September double credits for the cruise. But some of you guys, it's happening because maybe you're perfectionistic with yourself. And so you're thinking, all right, I've got to check the table. I've got to I've got to watch all these Rally Chat videos. I've got to make sure that I'm posting exactly what's on Rally Chat. And I just want to remind you, simmer down, slow down. Rally Chat is there if you're like, I need to post and I literally don't have time. I don't even know what to post today. That's what it's there for. Okay. It's not there to overwhelm you. You just go to the Rally Chat, you go to that part that says something to post. There are graphics. It's like super easy. It's meant to pull you out of that stuck feeling that often happens when you're in overwhelm. Okay. You do not have to use those. And in fact, if you want to scroll up to it, like, last week, you can choose something from there. But just get out of the unstuck or get out of the stuck place by going to Rally Chat. There's something to post. Here's something to remind someone. Here's something to invite someone to. It's just to help make it simple. So some of you guys work full-time or part-time, and you are literally, like I can see Jess Gross on this call, literally at her desk. I see you, baby. She's squeezing this into her day, right? Plexus is a side gig for her. And so for someone like Jess, it's perfect because she can go straight to Rally Chat. She's not spending the worst thing you can do for your business is to get on social media and thinking, I'm going to look for something I can share. I'm going to get inspired. That's not what social media does. Social media's whole purpose is to suck you in and to suck all energy from you, to suck all creativity from you guys. That's what it does. So that's not what you're doing. You're going to post, you're going to be intentional, and then you're going to get off your phone because this business is about relationships. It's about real life conversations or a phone call or a face-to-face or a text message. It's not about how you perform on social. Pam Burnett, yes, you may be added to Rally Chat, absolutely. And so if you're like, that's a great question too. Pam's saying, well, I'm not even in a Rally Chat. We will happily add any of you guys. In fact, when you have a level one that's like, I want to work this business, but I don't have much time, Rally Chat is a great conversation to have with him or her, and then just add them in. But again, we are not, it's a messenger chat that we are not using to talk to. It's simply an admin is posting it every day, and every day you just go and check it. Okay. Okay. So let me now ask, is anyone needing some coaching about feeling overwhelmed or not being able to get started or feeling like you've got some stagnation in your business due to overwhelm? So I can assume from your faces that you are all doing awesome. Okay, I see this. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh, my screen just went away. How did those
Jessica's asking, how do I work? How does that work during the 8 to 5 time block? Here's the greatest thing about Rally Chat is it is exactly designed for that. Like, just tell me in the chat or raise your hand if your video's on. Who is busy from the time you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night? Like, who literally can't find the time? Okay, here's the thing. You just find 15 minutes to go through. I truly believe if you will time block and set a timer, like, hey, I'm waking up at 6:45 from 6:45 to 7. And maybe that's not your time, Jessica. Maybe it's 6:45 to 7 at night. Maybe it's 9 o'clock to 9:15. Like, find your 15 minutes and don't make excuses for why you can't find the 15 minutes. You get to choose whether you want to lean into these 15 minutes or whether you're willing to let that go and your business not go forward. So you get to make those decisions. You get to figure out where the sacrifices are sometimes, but mine is not mornings. Becky's is more likely to be mornings. Like, Becky and I have totally different ways we are going to approach this. So I want to give you permission to approach it exactly how it works for you. But if you go into Rally Chat and you're like, okay, I know what to say to that person now because I've read the what to say. I know what to post. I'm just going to, for the next week, for the next month, I'm just going to post everything that's in Rally Chat every day, the exact way it's written out. I'm just to get something out there. I'm going to allow myself to not say, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to put in stories. It is literally there for you. And then I feel like I don't know what's going on in Plexus or I don't know enough. Great. I think the videos in there are no more than 5 to 10 minutes long. Some may be a little longer if you have some long-winded people or like, depending on what Rally Chat you're in today, you either got Jillian doing a post today, or you got an old video from Celeste that she did that was kind of shortened down. And if you didn't get the Celeste one today, you're going to get it next week. So don't worry about it. You're not missing anybody's information. But like, get in your car or go on your 10,000 step walk for the day and stick your ear pods in and just listen to that on that walk instead of the book or the whatever else you're doing. So yeah. So here's the thing, Jessica, if you give yourself, I think if you give yourself 15 minutes in the morning to actually get Rally Chat done, then you give yourself 15 minutes at night to respond to any messages, to send those like, hey, I saw that you liked my post. I'd love to talk to you more about this. And you send all those messages out. So now you know what to say because it's in Rally Chat. You're going to know exactly how to respond to those people. Oh, you want to listen to the call? I'm going to send you, I didn't get back to you in time. I'm going to send you the recording. Okay. So no big deal. If you didn't get back to them last night before the Sunday night call started, or they slid your slider and you forgot you missed it, or you forgot to respond to, great, I have the recording. I'm going to get that to you. And you do that for 15 minutes at night. And then guess what? The next morning, they respond. They're like, I love that video. Thank you so much. And you've already got the next conversation happening because you're back in Rally Chat for 15 minutes, morning and night, if that's how you need to work your business. But the point of all of it, the point of knowing what to say, the point of knowing what to post, of knowing what to share, of learning is so that you are confident in conversations. Like, the point of all posting, of all stories, of all sliders, of all polls, of all, graphics for calls or whatever it is, or even like great copywriting. If you are in at the point in your business where you're like, I just want to have my own copy, my own, posts, my own pictures. I want it to be all mine. The point of all of it is to get into conversations. So if everything you are doing is creating one-on-one conversations or three-way chats in text or messenger, you are doing the right thing. If you aren't in one-on-one conversations or in three-way chats, then I want to challenge you to figure out how to get people in conversations with you about Plexus. So I hope that helps, Jessica, but just figure out where your 15 minutes of like reaching out, of like putting it out there is, and then where your 15 minutes of connecting with those people are. And then you do the same thing the next day. Give yourself grace and permission to not message immediately. Like, if at 11 o'clock your phone dings and you're, oh, that person finally messaged me back. Great. At 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, when my 15-minute timer goes off, I will message that person back. I promise you they will probably not have signed up with someone else between 11 o'clock last night and 9 o'clock the next day when you actually get back to them. we all have it. Hey, thank you so much for messaging me. You must be a night owl. I'm a total like early, like you right then and there. Like I go to bed at 9 o'clock, but I'm so grateful to have it. And you know what? They may not see your message again till they have time at 11 o'clock again the following night. Do y'all see how that, like, it just takes time. It's not like you're going to post this phenomenal thing that's in Rally Chat today, and three people are like, will you send me your link? I can't wait to get started. And by the way, can you tell me how to make $500 this month? I mean, is that happening for anybody? Because it's not happening for me. It's conversations. And I just want to give you permission to take time to do it, but take time for the conversation to show up in a customer, to show up in curiosity around the business, to show up in making their first post. Like that takes time. But like Becky said, the magic week thing happens. Guess what? You're having all those conversations right now. If some of those people don't sign, so you're having people from last month show up, be like, hey, I still haven't ordered yet. Can you help me? Yes, great. But what happens is the conversations you're having this week might not show up until the end of October as sales and new customers and new business builders. And that's okay because you're constantly in that, like that cycle of I'm sharing, I'm in conversation, and I'm helping people get started. Did that answer your question, Jessica? It did. Okay.
Who else? Speak up, because that's what we're here for.
Okay. I just was waiting for everyone. You know, I always have questions. I can relate to being having overwhelm, and I'm realizing after you said that, Becky, it is to the unmet expectations. And I'm now feeling paralyzed because you know you should yourself and you're not where you want to be, or having enough conversations and all the things in your head. And then I am on top of that over analyzing everything I say. Um, or not say, or I'm trying to learn not to talk about me and talk about other people, or and then I overnight and then I'm just here.
Well, and I mean, I just have to say this because I know this, how interesting, because I feel like God totally encouraged you in your business this month. Like you kind of came away from speaking at that one event feeling, am I correct? Like feeling a real sense of purpose and calling. And now you're experiencing, you know, first of all, the emotional sensation of that moment has eased, right? Those waters have kind of stilled. And now you're allowing the enemy to kind of lead you into some questioning and self-doubt. So that's the cycle. Like that happens. We go on, maybe I'll call it an emotional high, but it really might also be like a really spiritually encouraging moment where we're like, I'm supposed to do this. I feel like God is calling me to this. And then when that high feeling goes away, we have to walk in trust and faith. And now you're being challenged because you're like, you've got self-doubt, you're second guessing. And I just want to remind you, like, yeah, that's part of what you've got to practice overcoming. Just in the trust that if he told you 2 weeks ago, you are right where you're supposed to be, why would that have changed today just because you don't feel it? So let me just first deal with the spiritual side of that. But second, sometimes, Christy, when things slow down, like when people are talking with me, I don't feel this way. But when things get quiet, sometimes in my business, Andrea and I talked about this earlier, when things get quiet, that's when we start to have self-doubt. Like if I had people that were like, hey, I want to work my business, which I actually do. I have had 3 people this month be like, I'm ready. I want to work this business. But now what I need to do is I just need to pursue them well. Not want it more than them, but pursue them well. And that's where, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of timing, like getting people on the phone. It's a timing game and it might take 3 weeks, you know, but just be faithful to do the next right thing. So I would say to you, I know you're posting because I see it every day. And in fact, you're not just posting, but you're writing and you're sharing yourself and you're really wanting to make it be about someone that needs to hear this and not make it about yourself. What's an area that you feel like you're struggling in when it comes to action?
It's how I communicate to them. Like last time, Andrea was saying, like, ask more questions and get curious, and I get stuck there. Well, I would say since last week, I've been trying to do it the right way. And so I talked to someone this week. I reached out to her. She's my cousin's girlfriend. I met at a wedding. She would be phenomenal at this. She's a Gen Z. We talked for an hour and a half. And at the end, she was like, well, she was super interested in all the things. I mean, it could just not be timing yet, but she was like, I just, when I get into something, I really want to give it 1,000%. And I'm like, okay, I didn't present this right. I must have made this sound like it was, you have to do all this stuff to get to these things, rather than when you start, you can make it's simple. So I, I think that is where I'm having problems, is the actual talking part.
Okay, so did she tell you no?
No, she's really interested.
Oh, huh. She's really interested, and she's the kind of person that you would love to lead, love to have on your team. And now there's self-doubt. And that just tells me it's because you have shifted the focus back to yourself. And that's what we do. I mean, that's what gets us stuck. That's when we worry so much about how someone's going to perceive us, or maybe we're so worried about doing it wrong or not doing it good enough, this is like typical foundational levels of a new career, right? Like I'm just going to be worried about how I do it. But if you can let go of that and just pursue her and tell her, like, I think you'd be great. I mean, you don't have to go to the top, but do you want to learn how to make $300 this week? Because if she does, what's your next step?
Inviting her to the call. I invited her Sunday, but she fell asleep. So I'm going to get her the recording today and send it to her.
You know what I'd probably do too? I'd probably find a Gen Z video and I'd just go ahead and send it to her. Hey, watch this. After you watch this, because this made me think of you, watch this, and I'd ask her 3 questions. What did you relate to? Was anything inspiring? And is this something that you would like to give it 1 month and see how you do?
I would
And
also focus a lot of your posting, or like, it's so much easier to post when you feel like you have a person you're posting to. So what's her name, Christy?
Madison.
Okay. So like in your head, you're like, okay, what do I need to share with Madison? Okay. I'm thinking Allie Thomas, like the girl that is is in CRNA school right now, which is nurse anesthetist school. So she is taking like all these hours. She earned Hawaii, didn't go as a Sapphire because she's in the middle of medical school, can't go to Hawaii. But if you're talking about someone who wants to do something at 1,000% and does everything really, really well, I'm just saying, show her high level people that are Gen Zs that are also paying for medical school with their Plexus money. And if Allie can find the time to do this, I promise you she can probably find the time. But then you're sharing, then you're like, okay, I have an idea of kind of what I want. Like once a week, I'm going to make sure I share a Gen Z, testimonial. You can go find them. You don't have, here's what I would caution. Don't go spend an hour scouring Plexus pages to look for, as they pop up, you save them in a folder on Facebook, and it's Gen Z testimonial. And the next Monday that you share a Gen Z testimonial, you just do that one. So I just want to encourage you. You're not going to do it the wrong way. Here's what's really encouraging, Chrissy. It's the exact right way. You have planted the seed. Now you just have to water it, and you have to continue to love it and nurture it. And here's what's funny is you might think that you are nurturing, loving, and really posting to her, and somebody else catches the vision because you're being so intentional with how you're posting and how you're wording things and how you're encouraging and how you're casting vision on social media for her, that you're actually doing it for everybody. That's the thing about niche marketing. When we talk about, like, when you're saying, I want to do it right, you're picking one person to post to that sounds like the best person, but essentially you're posting to everyone that exact same way. So I just think doing it the right way is none of us did it the right way. Not a single one of us. Not a single person on this call was recruited the right way, the best way. And I promise the first, at least for me, and I know for Beck, time we heard about Plexus or saw Plexus or whatever, we were like, I mean, that sounds cool. I went to a dinner with Rosalind Payne as a customer to encourage Susan Stern to sign up. Like I was literally there and helped Susan sign up with Roz as a customer because I thought it was the greatest idea ever, a month before I ever signed up. I was convinced enough that it was a great idea to tell Susan to sign up with Roz, but I never, ever thought it was for me. I just did not think that was and God softened my heart over the next month, softened Joe's heart, and then it was the right timing for us. But I want to encourage you, like, you just might not have hit the thing for her yet that quite pushes her over, and just keep at it, keep in that conversation. I'm excited for that. I think that's the right way, Christy, is that conversation. It's that long, it may take a month, 6 weeks, and it may be somebody else that you're actually attracting into it, but you're doing the right things.
Yeah. Also, just a reminder, just as a caution, Ashley knows this because Ashley and also Andrea knows this because I can't tell you how many times I've come to Andrea and been like, this person is my dream teamer. She is a rock star. She's going to kill it. And that person doesn't do anything. Or I told Ashley, don't come to me and tell me this is your rock star person, because it's like the kiss of death. Sometimes we give them so much power. And it's like, if they would say yes, my business would explode. Again, selfish. That's about me, right? Like if only this person would do it for me. The other thing is that sometimes we give them too much power and unknowingly we're pressuring. So if you can just excitedly deliver the information, don't tamper your excitement, but let go of the expectation on what they'll do. Truly, that if you could help this girl, who it sounds like she wants to do something like this, if you could help her earn enough money to cover a certain bill or some weight on her shoulders, what a gift. Not to mention, just throw in the gut health stuff, okay? But don't let any one person have so much power that it's going to make or break your resolve for what you're doing. The resolve to do what you're doing comes from a call on your life. And you are faithful to God with that and nobody else. Like, I'm here to do what I'm doing in order to please God and to help others. But if I make it about one person, I can totally ruin my day, my week, my month. Oh my gosh, she rejected me. And again, that's the other thing, is just getting over the power of rejection, not personalizing this. If it's not the right time for someone, you've delivered all the information, move on to the next person. But don't let one person make or break how you feel about your business or about how you're doing as a leader.
The visual that comes to mind is, y'all know if you go to the grocery store and you're like, okay, I need an avocado for dinner tonight. If you buy one avocado, chances are that it's bad so high, right? Like you're like, it looks beautiful, it feels great. You open it up and you're like, oh, I should have bought 2. I should have bought 3 just to make sure that I got a good one, because you need it for the meal. Like, has anyone else ever done, like, you cut into an onion or a potato and you're like, I only have one. And if you have multiple people that you are having this conversation with, then you release the pressure on one person to be perfect and to like be that avocado that you open up, like, it's the prettiest one, and you post it on Instagram. But if you have multiple that you're like, okay, this one is good, I can use like half of it, they're going to go to gold, right? But if you have multiple that you're using half of, then great, you're taking all the pressure off the one. And so I just really want to encourage you that the more people you are excited about, Christy, or everybody on here, the more people that you actually are excited about, which I think is where Becky would say she is right now, is there's multiple people at different stages kind of doing different things. And that is the best place to be in your business. You have someone trying to go silver. You have someone you're really excited about that you're like, this could be the person that just like catches the vision for themselves and does the thing. Here's what's amazing. And this happens, and Pam's on here. And so I feel like I can kind of speak to this too, is sometimes you'll sign up someone too that gets it. And we have multiple jewels in our company who do not have a power up line. In fact, we have some jewels in our company who are diamonds who have no jewels 7 levels up. Andrea Derrick is one I can think of that has no jewels 7 levels up in the company to connect with, to get leadership from, anything. And she just caught the vision, and she just like got some videos, and that the person above her that was like gold or senior gold kind of got her just her foot in the door enough that she could go do it on her own. And I really want to challenge you to either be that person, to just boldly go without a, you know, direct leader. I'm talking to everybody. But two, go find someone that you feel like even if I don't give them all the right answers and I don't give them all the right information and I do everything the completely wrong way, they can still like make a mountain out of my molehill that I've given them. And I just want to encourage that. So you can do all the wrong things and still have a really great person come in and join your team if you stay really consistent with it. So I encourage you there too. Okay, we've got plenty of time. Anybody else feel like over the next week they really need some coaching in an area?
I feel like similar to what Christy said, like stuff will come up and I kind of like get in this rut of like, ooh, and then I don't do anything. And I have to kind of talk myself back into the consistency. And so, like, for example, over the weekend, I started making my new list of people to reach out to. And then this morning, I just like froze myself and was like, okay, I wrote her on my list for a reason, but like it's probably too soon. I haven't known her long enough. And I get in my own head and I like talk myself out of doing the work. So is there any, I mean, I know you can't, you know, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, but it's like, okay, did God put this person on my heart, even though I've met her twice in my life? And, you know, we've really only talked one time recently. But everything that she said, I was just like, oh, you need Plexus. Oh, and you need the business. Oh, and you'd be amazing, you know? And it's like, but I don't want to scare her off. So I hesitate.
Yes. Here's the biggest thing is going back to Becky. Like, are you making it about you? And I don't want to scare her off. And I'm afraid that I'm going to say the wrong thing. Or what if she is like, oh, I just met you and now you're already trying to sell Plex? Like, you're making it about like you just enough that it's pausing you where you're like, if you had something amazing that you're like, I just have to share it with you. Like, this may not be for, I mean, Jim Viev has this classic beginning of all conversations. This may or may not be for you, but I want to make sure that you are aware. You kept saying, I'm struggling with migraines, or my stomach hurts all the time, or golly, I can't eat anything. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I have something that I have seen work time and time again. I would love to share something with you. And I really want to encourage you to like add people to a customer page, what we call add, tag, and message, where you're like, hey, can I add you to a customer page where I see people talking about this exact same thing? Because you're taking yourself out of it. You're saying, I want to offer, like, for every single one of us, if someone was selling something, but it solved a problem that you're talking about all the time, right? I can't keep my kitchen organized. Does anyone have anything to make my hair grow? Like, whatever it is, if it's something you're talking about all the time or something that's a real concern for you, and someone had a solution for it, and they were like, but I'm afraid she's going to think I'm selling it to her, and they didn't tell you, how bummed would you be that you didn't even have the option to it? So what you're doing is you're giving people the option to the next step. You're saying, I have this. It seems like a solution to your problem. Do you optionally want to take the next step and find out more? Do you want to hear more? And that's where I think, Sarah, going into that rally chat and going, okay, let me kind of scroll through some rally chats. Let me see if there's something that kind of sparks my brain, gets me out of my rut. That's where that rally chat 15 minutes really comes in, Sarah, is you be like, I have my list. Because we can spend a lot of time on lists. Anybody else spent some time on lists? Over the last 11 years, I could probably get a lot of work done in the time I've spent with like making a list. But if you don't sit down with that list and go, okay, I'm just going to reach out to 3 people today. I'm going to go through some rally chats. I'm going to see, do I need to send them a recording of something? What do I need to say? Because rally chat has some really good verbiage in there that'll just kind of get your brain wheels moving if they feel a little creaky. And then you just start sending the messages. And maybe you don't start with the person that feels the hardest, Sarah. Maybe you start with some easy people that you're like, I don't care if they say yes or no. And then you're like, oh, now I know what I'm going to say to that person, because now I kind of feel like my wheels are moving and I can say. So star those people that you're like, really, really want to help these people out. And I really think that Plexus could be the avenue for them. And then send messages to the people that you don't care if they say no, you don't care if they ghost you, and then it'll be easier to send messages to those starred people. But I do think it's great that you have a list, but if you don't actually move through the list in your 15 minutes every day with Rally Chat, then you're just like hoping a prayer that you post something on Facebook and that person messages you.
Also, Sarah, are you highly empathetic? Like, are you a feeler?
Yes.
Okay. So I think those of us that are highly empathetic, the Achilles heel of it is when we predict, like, oh, I don't know how it's going to sound for her. This might be like pushy for her. Well,
Yes.
that's
That's
empathy.
all the time.
So that's where your empathy actually is working against you. And I was at a luncheon, like a ministry luncheon last week, and somebody said, don't you dare ever say someone's no for them. And I was like, oh, of course I thought that applies to plexus. But that's the idea that you're saying no for her and you haven't even reached out to her, and it's your empathy is getting in the way. You're trying to predict that she's going to be put off. So take all your emotions out of it. You heard her recently share something and thought, oh, she needs plexus. And like Andrea said, you're not demanding she purchase, you're giving her an option, and the world is going to give her plenty of options every time she opens social media. So why wouldn't you give her your option? That's where some of y'all just need to practice getting out of your feelings and leaning into practicality, And sometimes, by the way, sometimes if you are struggling in that place of like, plexus works, you meet people all the time who need it, but you're afraid to reach out to them, as crazy as it sounds, go listen to some health testimonials, because it will help you pull out of this place of like, oh no, what are they going to say if you're going to be like, why wouldn't I? Why would I not? This person has the exact same health testimony as my friend or this person I was talking to. So get back, or go maybe learn a little bit about the products. Go listen to some of the Plexus Go videos and be like, duh. Restore has berberine, and berberine is a natural GLP-1 booster. Like, why wouldn't I offer Restore to this friend who's struggling with appetite issues? She's obviously got some blood sugar stuff going on. So whatever it is you need to do to boost your belief in what you're sharing sometimes is a great, and again, that's what Rally Chat offers, is it's giving you information to go back and learn and just to sort of fill your cup so that when you do give the reach out. And then also, here's the other thing. Take the heaviness off of what you're offering. You're just giving someone an option and then you're moving right along. So I loved Andrea's idea on go after people who you're not really worried about what they'll say or think. Sometimes those are the best reach outs to prep you for the reach out that you are worried about. Who else? Got a few more minutes open to do live coaching. What do you need help with? How are you guys doing on casting vision for people who say they need the business, but maybe haven't been able to get anything off the ground? Or are you not struggling with casting vision? Is it something else?
So I'll share what I'm struggling with. So
Okay.
I have a lot of conversations going, but nobody's crossing the finish line. So I don't struggle with what to say. I'm more of a one-on-one person, reaching out directly to people, and they act interested and we get in conversation. And I have a jot form that I use, and they fill out the jot form, and I know what their health goals are. So then I can speak to what I feel like would be a good regimen for them, but they don't take off. So I go and I reach out for more people. So my struggle, if I want to call it that, is just being patient, because when people say that they want to do something, I believe them that they want to do it, but then there's a lack of follow through. So I know that, the statistics are that you have to touch people a certain number of times. So, I mean, I'm getting pretty close to beyond that number for quite a few of them. But for me, I mean, I just, that's the only struggle I think that I have is just knowing and being patient and not getting weary, I guess, if you will, of feeling like you're doing the right thing, but you're not seeing the fruit of your effort. And so just truly walking in trust and knowing that if I just keep doing doing the right thing, um, or what I know is the right thing to do based on training and what my heart tells me, that's I think because I really wanted to be gold and go to gold school next month. And I'm still aiming for that. And I'm not going to stop. But I guess for me, it just gets a little bit discouraging because I'm like, you said you said you wanted this. And so, I mean, you guys have heard it for many, many years. You've been doing this for, all your years. So this is nothing new, but
Yeah,
that's
but
that's my struggle.
You're exactly the kind of person that we love coaching. And I'm sure Andrea and I are both like our brains are here, coming up with different questions. So I'm hearing you say you're in conversation with a lot of people, which
A lot.
kudos to you, Sally, because that shows that you're talking about it, you're sharing, and you've got the influence where people will actually get into conversation with you. So your struggle is not that area where so many people wrestle with posting and having influence and being relational enough. Okay. Your struggle right now is getting people off the fence and getting them to click, check out on their cart. Here's my question. Do you know, or have you asked them what's keeping them stuck? Have you made it about like you're great at delivering information. Do you know what's going on with them personally? That's, and they're all going to be different. They're all going to have different answers. Why haven't they check out?
Well, so it's interesting. What I did was I actually even used the word. I'm curious. Is there more information? What can I do? What questions can I answer? Because I feel like I've served them up a good solution for what they've told me their issues are. And I mean, I spend a lot of time with these people. I mean, I have a list of medications that they're taking, you know, what predisposition they have for, allergies to different things. And so I do research about, don't take balance if you're allergic to cinnamon, because I've had people, break out. Anyway, all that to say, I have used that word with people. I finally broke down and was like, I'm curious, is there more information that I can, can I help? Can we set a time? I even wrote a text today, about can we schedule a time? I know you're really busy. I'm available on this day and this day. If that doesn't work, tell me what works for you. Let's schedule a time. So, I feel like I'm doing all the things, but I think there are some gaps that
Okay, I do have one more question that comes up for me though.
okay.
The people that you're pursuing, because you mentioned, this is fine, but you mentioned, and this is really good practice for you, that you've got like their list of medications. And so you've like, I'm assuming when I hear that these folks have a lot of health issues that Plexus would be beneficial for.
Some of them do, not all of them.
Are
Mhm.
any of these people just somebody who somebody just wants more energy? Somebody who, is like not really, doesn't have terrible things going on, but it's just like, I just really need some more energy, or I just want to sleep better or whatever.
Yeah, I think probably they have, maybe more than that. They probably do have more. But like right here, I mean, I'm going to the post office today to deliver 5 days of triplex just so they can see how their system tolerates it. And I mean, I told them you're not going to get any benefit really You're not going to realize the full benefit is what I said, but you can then at least have a chance to see if she says she's so sensitive. She wants to make sure she can tolerate. So I'm like, okay, you got it. I'll ship it to you. But
Sally, let me just tell you really quickly, I want to tell you something. You're not doing anything wrong.
I don't think I am. I think I'm
But
just like, I need to be patient.
I don't think it's just that, Sally. I think you need to just find some easier yeses. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I can see certain people nodding their heads. Every once in a while, if it's a customer or if it's a potential that makes me work that hard, 5 free days of triplex, you are,
I
first of all,
offered it. I
I know,
offered it.
I know.
She,
I'm just saying though, like
Mhm.
you're working so hard. And a lot of times when I'm working that hard, I will somehow find people that are completely unpleasable. It was the same way when I was counseling. Like I would find people who, in my very early days, like would talk me down to like $10 a session. And those were the same people who would miss their sessions, like without any heads up. There are some people that are just unpleasable. So let me just say that. And I don't know for sure, maybe, a few people are in this category because if I were interested in Plexus, I'd want to buy from you. You're going to work so hard to make sure that I have a good experience. Unless I'm just one of those unpleasable people. That's why every once in a while, I just want like a really easy customer. Please don't give me someone who's on a lot of meds or someone who's going to have terrible detox. Like just give me a mama who just had a baby and she just wants to feel better. She just wants to feel like herself again. Sometimes, so in other words, I would say to you, you need to go find an easy yes, because you are working real hard. And let me tell you, if anyone deserves to go gold, Christy Salcido just said in the comment section, in case you can't see it, praise the Joyome ladies. Like sometimes somebody who just wants some good skincare, don't forget that. There was a season in my Plexus business where I was going so hard, and I believe in this, after people with terrible gut health, because I had done so much research and I knew this is what they needed. And they were the most difficult customers ever. It's like autoimmune lists out the wazoo. I'm doing all this research on leaky gut and here, let me get you some milk thistle. And it was like, man, my favorite customers are the people who are like, I want to get on this. I just want to feel better. I'm taking it consistently. It's not messing up my, immune system. And I'm just going, you need some of those. So I do not think you're doing anything wrong, except maybe shoot for some easier customers. Andrea, I know you have an opinion here. So jump in.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you are complicating closing the sale. I think because we have to remember every single one of these people we are selling them a triplex. We are selling them a Joyome set. We are selling them a reset or like, and my question is, Jess, and I wrote this down, like, what is your hesitation in getting started today? Because they're going to say, oh, well, I haven't talked to my husband yet. Okay, what are going to be your husband's concerns? Like, let's make sure we have all of those written down. Like, you have to I'm just thinking like here in the chat, everyone write down what your biggest like hesitation was in the beginning. Like the very first thing that you thought when you were like, Plexus, I don't have the money. My husband's going to say no, which is usually a scapegoat. And my husband doesn't mind being the scapegoat, but usually a husband means, I just don't want to say it. I just don't want to, I'm just not all in. So I'm going to say Joe's not in. So, and he's told me I can. Yeah. Money and ingredients, like all the things. Becky messaged me and was like, I'm already on a probiotic. And I was like, great, y'all, here's what I did. I was just thinking about this a minute ago. Here's what I did. I said, great, go you as the potential, not me as the ambassador, you as the potential, go compare it. You think you're so smart and, uppity about your probiotic. You know everything about probiotics. And you're going to tell me you know more than I do, which at that point in our lives, well, still at this point, she does. And you go compare the two. And she literally came back and was like, oh, I'm kind of impressed with what's in your probiotic. And she didn't want to be and all that. But yeah, make them do the work. Like we have a 60-day money back guarantee. I'm going to be honest, you should not be sending them a 5-day sample. She can try it for 60 days and get her money back. There's no reason. I'm not a big sampler for that reason. I have a girl right now that's coming by to get samples because she doesn't like the flavor of watermelon. And so she's like, just tell me that the other flavors don't have a watermelon flavor to them. I'm like, you taste them. You see, but guess what? She's coming by here and she's coming by to get samples. She's making the effort because she's more likely to actually try them if she's the one showing up at my house to get samples off my front porch. Like, I just want to challenge y'all, like, don't like take off give all your clothes away to try to get one person to be a customer. Like, if they're working that hard to say no, they're probably they're very unlikely to be your customer 60 days later, because they're finding reasons why it doesn't work.
That's just one.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
do that for everybody. She is a really good friend of mine, and she lives out in McKinney, and I'm clear out in Southlake. So
no,
it's
I
easier.
get that you're doing it. We've all done it. I mean, every
Yeah.
single person that's successful on here has mailed something. I have mailed a free reset to people. I gave Julia Carty Probio 5 and body cream almost every Sunday that she'd be like, I lost it. I'm like, well, I'm giving you another bottle, whole bottles of Probio 5 for 6 months, while the girl was like, I don't think this stuff like does anything. Meanwhile, she wasn't using it. The number of probably free bottles of Probio 5 and body cream that girl probably found when she moved out of her Forney house are next level. They're probably wherever my Jeep key is that she lost. I just want y'all to know, like, we've all done it. We've all given the stuff away. And it works sometimes and it doesn't work sometimes. What I want to tell you is, Sally, are you asking them what? I would challenge you, every person that is on your potentials list that has not pulled the trigger to actually order their products, what is your hesitation in getting started today? Because they're going to give you, and then that's where you go, oh, you actually do want to do this, or you're really just placating me and like trying to be nice and not wanting to tell me no. Because you almost need to ask the no. Like, just tell me if it's a no. Tell me if you're like, I absolutely am not going to try these products. Like, this is not the time for me. Because then you can put them like on another list, and you can keep working with people like, no, I really do want it. I just don't know how to make the money work. I really do want it. I just don't know if I'm committed enough every day, disciplined enough to do it. Great. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to help you set an alarm. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'm going to check in with you. I'm going to get you in this accountability group. I'm going to get you in a 3-way message with my friend Angie. And one of us every day is just going to check in on you and see how it's going. Like, you can solve the problem if you know what the problem really is. But I think most of us included, and by us, I mean Becky and I too, don't want to ask for the no because we're so afraid to get it. And I think we need to say, what is your actual hesitation in getting started today? Y'all, I'm preaching to the choir, and the fact that I'm actually preaching to the preacher, because I actually need to send this message to some people. What's your hesitation in getting started today? You have a week to help them get over that hesitation for this month if you want to do it. So I just want to challenge you. Yes, we all have the one-off people. We all have the people that were like, if she could just get it in her system, if she would just try it. But I want to challenge you. Use the 60-day money back guarantee as a selling point to get them started today. If they're like, well, make sure they are turning a subscription on. Y'all, do not like let people sign up like, I'm going to give you all the coupon codes, and I'm going to make sure you get this thing free, and you don't have to sign up a subscription. Like, don't undersell your product. If they are not on it for 60 days, you are doing them no service. You are only doing yourself a service of giving double credits. You are not doing them a good customer service of making sure. I had somebody yesterday said, do I have to do a subscription? I said, I really don't think there's any reason for you to buy these products if you're not going to take them for 60 to 90 days. Like, there's no reason. Luckily, she signed up today, but with a subscription, I double checked it. But there's no reason other than for selfish reasons for us. There's no reason for them to only try these products for 30 days. So I just want to encourage you, like, are you doing it again for them, or are you doing it for credits and bonuses and ranks? And we can all keep ranks in the forefront of our mind. We can all keep paychecks in the forefront of our mind. It is not bad to say, this is what I want. But we should make sure when we're having the conversations that we're talking about what's right for them. So I just want to encourage you, if every single person on this call sends one time to one person, what is your hesitation in getting started today? I have a feeling you will have confidence in moving forward in the next week. Like, that's magic week to me. What's your hesitation in getting started today? Because you're asking for some immediate response. If they ghost you, then this is not the right time for them. Does that make sense? Like, but what if you could send that message to 10 people today? Like that would be a game changer, I think, for your businesses. I'm going to challenge myself to it too. Okay. It's 1 o'clock. I
Can
feel like
I
we've
ask
got
one more
good-
question?
Sure.
Okay, so this is a different subject, but for VIPs that haven't ordered for a while and they don't want to place a subscription, but they want to do like the pumpkin spice lean and maybe the active, do I still get points for that even though it's just a one-time order, not a subscription?
Points are always based on PV. So points
Okay.
aren't based on how they ordered or what they ordered or any of that stuff. Points are always based on PV. So that
Okay.
$50 or more PV. So I would just encourage them to order a double, like 2 bags of the lean or whatever it is. But yeah, points are all based on PV for the month. So if they order today and then like, next Monday something happens and they're doing some sale on something and they order again, those PVs are it's the total PV for the month is how your points are accrued.
So if it's 56 PV, I think for a double lean, is that, how many points is that?
You have
Just
to
like
look and see if
3?
they're a preferred customer or a brand ambassador.
VIP.
It's
Just
all in Help Center. I want to encourage you to print that out in
Okay.
Help Center because I
Okay.
think that will help you if you have
Okay.
that chart. I think that will help you go, oh, this person's 2 points. Okay, this person's 4 points. And you can start to look at it and go, I need 3 more points. I can just have 3 people order, this double bag of, pumpkin spice, and you'll feel like you're winning. So everybody doesn't have to be $100 PV, but obviously you get full points for that. Okay. Hope y'all have a great magic week, and it's magical. Bye, y'all.